It's Susie. I'm out on a bike ride and I found a nice little nature trail and a place I could stop and sit for a minute, so I thought I'd do a little short video. I used to drive the bus out to a high school on the northwest side of town, and I'd pick up the high school kids, and I didn't have to take them very far, but there were so many that it would fill the bus, standing room only, that's all there was. And I didn't have to take them very far, a couple of miles, drop them off at every stop along the way. And but sometimes I'd get students who would try to get on the bus and they had every excuse under the sun for why they didn't have their fare. And, you know, a time or two I don't mind, but when it becomes a habit, it's kind of a problem. And so I finally came up with a solution. So if you try to get on my bus and you're trying to do this multiple times, I will ask you one thing and I'll let you ride, because I'm not going to stop students from getting home. I want their school career to have as few negative impacts as possible, so they keep going. So if they didn't have their fare for whatever reason, I would make them stand there right beside me, and they would have to tell me what did they learn in school today. And I'll tell you what, it embarrassed them so much, and they would come up with something. Almost always they would tell me what they learned in school. At first they were a little hesitant, but it just became the thing. If they didn't have their fare, everybody knew what was going to happen and why they were going to be standing there. And so, you know, as it went, it became a thing where it was really kind of fun. And sometimes I'd have them get on the bus and they had their fare, and they would still want to stand there and tell me what did they learn in school today. And it became a thing. And it was nice. Like, I guess for some students, these kids just needed to know that somebody cared. They wanted somebody to tell, how did their day go? And I was perfectly happy to listen. I mean, it astounds me sometimes the things that these kids are learning these days. And, you know, it was kind of sad on my last day of driving that route. I haven't even driven it before since then. On my last day, I brought a big old bowl of candy, and everybody got chocolate for their last day. But it was a really awesome experience, so I just thought I would share that with you. So, like I always say, be kind. Spread kindness wherever you can. Thanks for listening. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.